Hey, Quad Bros, what's going on, guys? Welcome back here. I finally got all of the different squads, the premium squads for the Battle of Berlin. So here they are. I'm going to do a quick review over all of them and rank them similarly to how I did with the Moscow ones. So the only squad that I do not have is I don't have the P63 King Cobra, but I figure that this thing probably feels pretty similar to the BF-109 G14 that the Axis have and probably fulfills a pretty similar role in the battlefield. So I'm just going to bundle that together with that one. And if it ends up that that is not the case and this is significantly different, then I will do an update review and do this plane all on its own for its separate video when the time comes and whenever I inevitably get that. So starting off here, guys, with the engineer squads. The engineers for the Russians have this kind of cool camo. They have an SKS 31, and then they come with different perks than what we have here. They come with, I believe, 40% resources available for buildings, and then I think extra health regen, or maybe I think it was health restored by med pack, something like that. But regardless, I recommend you guys re-roll that into extra vitality, because extra vitality is the best perk in the game, and you do have the perk points available for that. So I've gone ahead and done that for these two, and these guys I wasn't able to roll that, so I just went ahead and got aim stability after receiving damage, which is also a solid choice. So that's the SKS squad. Going down to the Guards Infantry Regiment, the 66th, they have the Mosin M44 rifle with a bayonet on it. You can see it's right there. Pretty cool gun. And then these guys come with different perks again than they had. I believe it was like health regen out of combat and then breath holding time, I think, or something like that. Regardless, they were things that were not very relevant and I didn't really care for, so I went ahead and re-rolled those into stamina and stamina regen speed on anyone that I possibly could. They do come with 12% fire rate and 12% weapon aim speed, which is fantastic on these soldiers, and you also get 9 of them, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. They don't have any kind of unique uniforms. They look kind of neat, but this isn't, substantially different than, any other squad in the game, so I don't really mind. Then finally, guys, we have the 336th Guards Infantry with the PPD DSZs. It's a PPD with a bayonet on it. What more can you ask for, guys? I mean, come on. It's an amazing gun with a bayonet, bunch of ammo, premium soldier, comes with medpack use speed, less vertical recoil, which is solid, stamina, and reduced head shaking. Fantastic. I mean, seriously, what more can you ask for? This is a fantastic premium squad. And then we have the EMCHA, in my opinion, my favorite tank in the entire game, the M4A276W Lend-Lease Sherman. God, I love this tank. I play this tank in War Thunder all the time, and I just adore it. It's so fun to use. Unfortunately, Enlisted does not have its stabilizer in yet, which is kind of frustrating, but man, this tank is fun to use. I go on rampages in this thing, taking on taking on Panthers, taking on Panzer IVs, taking on, the Panzer 470 or whatever the thing is. For the Germans. This tank is just so much goddamn fun to use. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so great. Can't say how much I enjoy that tank. I just absolutely cannot overstate it. It's fantastic. So going over to the Germans, guys. The Germans have the same perks, so I'm not going to go over them again. But they have the Kbsp WZ. It's a Polish semi-auto rifle. Doesn't have a bayonet or anything cool on it, but it does have 10 rounds in the magazine, which is pretty neat. So that's pretty good. Semi-auto with 10 rounds. Solid. Does 14.4 damage, so it hits hard, has high recoil, but it does have that 10 rounds in the magazine. And I believe it has a pretty short reload time as well. No, 5 seconds. Never mind. Ignore me. Then we've got the next up squad, the Volkssturm Company, the first Volkssturm. They come with these Lebels, which are French bolt-action rifles with bayonets on them. You can see here. Pretty cool gun. I don't know why the Germans have French weapons. I'm sure they probably got them when they invaded France and then sent them back to Berlin and then just had them in reserve or something like that. Either way, you got these things. Pretty cool. But the cool thing with these guys, you can see they're wearing civilian clothing. These are the Volkssturm. They're the civilians that were kind of like just thrown in to the battle, which is really cool. They've got these awesome uniforms. I don't think there's very many things that are funnier in this game than seeing some of these guys pick up like PPSHs and like mow down entire Russian squads. Just kind of like humorous to see a bunch of civilians mowing down Russians with PPDs. So again, 9 soldiers, same perks as the other ones. You can see here again, fire rate, stamina. I went for the stamina, weapon aim speed, strong. And then we have the MP40/1s, same thing, recoil, reduction, Use speed. Oh, they have health regen, so I think I re-rolled that health regen on my Russian soldiers. I didn't do that on these guys. I recommend you re-roll the health regen because health regen is stupid and sucks. And then, guys, we have the Panther A. Panther A is a solid tank. The big difference between the Panther A and the Panther G is that this thing has a better turret traversal and a little bit less armor, about 10 millimeters less armor on its turret. So there you go. And then, of course, we have the BF-109 G14 with those 30 millimeter MK-108 cannons on the bottom. Very limited ammo on those things, but they do tons and tons of damage. So we'll get into that when we get in game. So let's jump in game, guys, and let's start showing off these squads, starting off with the Russian SKS-31 squad. So for this squad here, guys, the SKS-31 squad, there are some major benefits and a couple major downsides. So the first major benefit is the fact that you are an engineer squad, right? You can build any engineer fortification in the game, and you're also decked out with the faster build perks. You can build rally points very quickly. You can build AT guns, AA guns, MG42 nests, all the works, all the stuff very quickly. The other nice benefit that I don't think a lot of people might realize with this is that you have effectively unlimited ammo with your weapons, because you can build an ammo box as an engineer lightning quick and be able to just grab ammo and then continue on your way. Even if you want to, you can dismantle it as well, because you can dismantle incredibly quickly. So you can see I ran out of ammo here, so I can just pull out my hammer, pull up the ammo box, and I'm going to build it lightning quick. It's like 3 seconds or something like that. And then boom, got full ammo, can continue on my rampage. Really nice there. But to go on to the downsides, there are two major downsides with this squad. Most obviously, the first one is the 4-man squad itself. You only get 4 soldiers in this squad, and 4-man squads are not great. An engineer squad, normally you can bring 4 engineers plus a couple riflemen, you know, an MG maybe, I don't remember exactly, but you're going to be able to bring more soldiers up to 7, and so only being able to bring 4 here is a huge drawback. Now, the other major downside is, I'd have to say, guys, the SKS itself is not that great of a gun. It only has 5 rounds in the clip, which, to be completely honest with you guys, is really rough. If you're an aggressive player like me and you want to be pushing up all the time, this gun is going to get you killed, because only having 5 rounds means that you are not going to be taking enemies out. You're not going to be able to rush into a building, because oftentimes you're just going to down somebody and have to spend an extra bullet of your 5 rounds, 20% of your clip, killing off enemies. So if you're more of a passive player and you sit back and you like to pick people off, maybe you'll enjoy this gun a lot more. But for me, who, you know, is a more aggressive player and I like to push objectives, be on the point, be in buildings and things like that, I kind of struggled with getting killed by just running out of ammo in the clip too quickly. So overall for this squad, guys, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. The biggest drawback being that SKS itself. So coming in at just 1,450 coins, I believe just under $15, is the Mosin M44L rifle. And I gotta say, guys, I actually really love this squad. They don't have any super fancy camo or anything like that, but what they do have is a kick-ass gun, some great perks to go with that gun, and a whopping 9 members in your squad, which is just absolutely bonkers. Okay, so let's start off with the gun itself. So it's the M44L Mosin rifle. Fantastic rifle. Hits for like 17.8 or some garbage like that. So you're just going to be nuking everyone that you hit. Most of the time, you're just going to be outright killing people. And if you don't, you are probably just pretty unlucky. It has a great fire rate with that 12% extra fire rate perk that you have with the squad. And then on top of all of that, you have a bayonet on the front to where if you get stuck in a sticky situation, you can just start stabbing people and hope for the best. So all in all, guys, this rifle is fantastic. I really do love it. Now, next up, you have 9 soldiers in your squad. That is just crazy, right? 9 premium soldiers in your squad. Awesome soldiers, all with these perks, and that lets you turn fights around. If you get picked off by somebody, you can just immediately swap to another soldier, trade the kill. If you manage to get 9 guys on an objective, all 9 of them, you're going to be holding anything, right? There's no, like, people are just not going to be able to get you off the objective just because of how hard it is to displace 9 soldiers if you are just swapping between them, trading off kills. So fantastic squad in regards to that. And again, it's just like 15 bucks. So all in all, I really enjoyed this squad. I think it's a fantastic squad. And yeah, I'd really recommend this one, guys. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Really great squad. Highly recommend it, especially for the price. This is a great squad to farm some XP up with and just have some good games. So guys, next up, the PPD DSZ. This is a great squad, fantastic squad, but it's not really anything super special. You get a PPD with a knife at the end of it. So it is very powerful because it is a PPD with a knife at the end of it, and we already know the PPD is fantastic, and now it can stab things. But it's not really anything unique, and honestly, the PPD gets pretty outclassed by the PPSH. Even the box mag PPSH kind of outclasses this thing. So all in all, I'm not that excited about the gun itself here, although, again, it's a good gun. What I am excited about with this squad is the fact that you can bring this squad with the other 2 assault squads, which means you can bring 3 assault teams, all with PPSHs or PPDs, which is really, really stupid, to be completely honest with you guys. And the other thing is the fact that this squad has quick revive. So you can see here, I ran into this building, and I'm going to get shot, and then I'm just going to kind of revive myself and then proceed to kill literally everybody who's still in the room, which is really, really stupid. This is a really powerful thing. I think people know that the quick revive is good, but this squad comes with the quick revive, so just keep that in mind. All in all, guys, I'm going to give this squad a 7 out of 10, just because of the fact that, yeah, you can kind of cheese the game, and it does great. The gun is great, but it does get outclassed by the PPSH and the both variants of the PPSH. Now we have the mighty EMCHA. Those of you that have been to my stream, you guys would know that this tank is amazing. I love this tank. It is so much fun to use. It's definitely my favorite tank in the game right now, and it's probably my favorite tank just in general of World War II. It's become almost a meme at this point in my stream and in the Quad Bros community. I do have a video on this, guys, already using the EMCHA. You can go check that out. Click the card in the top right of your screen if you want to see that. But I'm going to go over it. Let's start off talking about the benefits this thing has over the T-34. Number 1, it reloads slightly faster than the T-34 and the Panther. At just 6 seconds or 5.9, it reloads about 0.8 seconds faster, almost a full second, which is huge. That is absolutely huge for a tank reload speed. This is going to get you out of some bad situations, that extra little bit of reload speed, and it's also going to let you switch to HE without, you know, fearing that a tank is going to roll around the corner and blast you to smithereens. So great benefit there. The other thing is the MGs on this thing are amazing. They reload faster. They've got more ammo. You've got the 50 cal on top. These guns, they overheat slower and they cool down faster than the other guns for the T-34 and the Panther. So all in all, guys, this MGs on this thing are amazing. You can switch to that commander, pop out on top, lay down some 50 cal rounds, and anyone who is dumb enough or unlucky enough to be in the way is going to get ripped in half. You can see taking on tanks is no big deal, especially not stuff like the Panzer IV. You're going to just obliterate them. The Panthers can cause you a little bit of trouble, but you're still going to be able to penetrate through, and you're going to be able to kill them just fine as long as you know where to shoot in that turret cheek, guys. Again, I cannot overstate how much I love this tank. I think this tank is absolutely fantastic. The only big downside of it is it has a little bit less armor than the T-34, I believe. And then also, it is only, or it is a little expensive. I don't like how expensive it is. I wish it had a little bit cheaper of a price so more people could enjoy this tank. But if you ever see it on sale, definitely pick it up. This tank is amazing for grinding XP out because tanks are, of course, great for XP. And then it's premium, so you're going to be doubling your XP. So if you're looking for a great tank to pick up, guys, I highly recommend the EMCHA. It is absolutely a blast to play. I'm going to give this one a 9.5 out of 10. The only downside being it is a little expensive. Now on to the Axis, guys. We got the Kbsp Polish semi-auto rifle. I like this gun a lot. It's got 10 rounds in the magazine, or clip, I guess. I'm not even sure if this thing has a magazine or not. Either way, it's got 10 rounds, which is great. It's got a decent reload speed, albeit it does kind of only reload all 10 bullets, even if you only need to like load 1, which is kind of annoying. But, you know, the biggest downside of this gun really is that it kicks like a mule and can be pretty inaccurate because of that. So don't expect to be able to spray this thing or fire this thing rapidly unless you are braced or prone. it just isn't going to do it. It just kicks really, really hard. So just keep that in mind if you guys do pick this gun up and you are running around with it. But you can see here, it does a ton of damage. It's got decent sights. Some people might not like the sights, but I'm okay with the sights. You can see it just taps people down. It is great for that. Now, the squad itself has the same benefits that the Russian Engineer Squad has, and the same disadvantage of being just a 4-man squad, so I'll go over those quickly. Really, you just have the same stuff. You can build MG nests, you can build ammo, you can build all those things, but there is a little bit of a bump, because as the Axis in Berlin, you are going to be defending more often than not, and building those MG nests and AT guns and things like that, I know, are going to be, or is going to be, a lot more beneficial as the defenders as opposed to the attackers. So there is a little bit of a buff there. But all in all, guys, this gun is a lot better than the SKS, and the squad is a lot better overall because you are defending. So I'm going to give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Great squad. Really enjoy it. You're probably not going to be disappointed. The biggest downside is, again, the price is pretty expensive. Next up, guys, we have the Lebel 1886, and I gotta say, I really like this squad. Same thing with the M44 squad. I think it's fantastic. You get 9 soldiers, which is just like, if you can get these guys in a defendable position, you are just going to be putting down so much fire, and you're going to be so hard to push out of that position. It's got a bayonet on it, so you can do some damage close range, although most of the time against the Russians, you're just going to get a face full of PPD rounds, so not a good idea always to be close quarters with the Russians, but it does good damage. It hits for like 17 or something like that, some crazy amount. So it hits really, really hard. You're going to be one-shotting people most of the time. It's accurate. It's got decent sights. I like the sights, but I know that some people prefer closed sights as to these open sights here. But it's got good range, good accuracy. Overall, great weapon, good damage. You know, there's not a whole lot you can ask for here. The biggest downside of this gun is that reloading it is a huge pain in the ass because it doesn't have any stripper clips. It only loads 1 round at a time, which means the reload time is like 6.5 seconds or something like that. Some crazy garbage like that. So it can really suck in regards to that. It does have a cool little bayonet animation that the other guns don't really have as well. I think it's because it's a longer weapon, but it's kind of neat to be able to stab people. So bayonet can come in handy for finishing some enemies off. But it's got 10 rounds in the mag, which is great. All in all, guys, I love this squad. Same benefits that the Russian 9-man infantry squad had, in that it is great for defending objectives. But I do think that this squad, again, because it is the Germans and because it is, you know, Berlin and they're defending more often than not, this squad gets a little bit of a bump because it is a little bit more defensive in regards, you know, just because of the bolt action and things like that. So it's also just 15 bucks. So good steal there. Good price point, in my opinion. Really recommend this squad. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. So next up is the MP40/1 squad. I like this squad. It's got the same benefits, the quick revive that the Russian assault team has. So let's focus on the gun here, the MP40/1. It's interesting. I think that this gun with a certain small, tiny quality of life buff would be really good, but as it stands is not really that impressive to me. So really the gimmick of this gun is that it is a dual-fed magazine. It's got 2 little magazines on the bottom there, and when you run out of ammo in one, your guy does a little slide over or something like that, and he swaps the magazine to the other one. You can see he does a little bolt back, and now we're on the other one. Cool, right? Well, yes, but the downside of this thing is that you have to run out of ammo to be able to actually swap, which is actually really frustrating at times, because you can see there I had to fire off those extra 3 bullets because I want the full magazine, but I don't want to swap my entire magazine out, right? I don't want to swap to the other one. I want to finish firing the one that I have now. So if they just did a little buff to this gun, a little quality of life change, where you can manually swap the weapon or the magazine, like which magazine is being currently fed into the gun, I think that would actually be like not that big of a deal, but also be really substantial in helping the squad be a little bit more on par with the PPD DSZ counterpart that it has. But other than that, guys, again, it's fine. It's an MP40 that's fully upgraded, which is solid. There's not a whole lot really to think about with this gun other than that, right? It's kind of similar to the DSZ in that regard. It's just a good gun. It's fine. The squad overall, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for being okay, but not being great. So now we've got the Panther A here, guys. This thing, for all intents and purposes, is really just a Panther G that gets you double XP. Let's be real. That's what this tank is. And that's not a bad thing. You also can bring this with the Panther G if you have both unlocked, which is great. But I really think the best thing about this tank is the fact that you can get this thing and just skip the Panzer IV. Because I know a lot of players have been struggling with the Panzer IV, which is fair. So if you've got the money and you just want to grab the Panther A and not have to deal with the Panzer IV at all, then that's totally a valid and fair thing to do. But really, this thing is just a Panther G that has a slightly better turret traversal speed. That's really it. It has a little bit less armor, but the Tiger, or excuse me, the T-34, the Tiger, the T-34 is going to pin you and kill you no matter what tank you're in. So it truly, truly does not matter. I haven't noticed a substantial difference between the A and the G in regards to that. So good tank, great vision. The MGs leave a lot to be desired, but there's not a whole lot you can do about that, guys. This is probably not a tank that I would recommend grabbing unless you really, really hate the Panzer IV, or unless you really want to bring two Panthers to the game. Because all in all, the HE is pretty lackluster. It's fighting against T-34s. It slightly edges them out, but it doesn't really beat them just on its own easily. Like, it's not just like a dominant tank. So it's just not that good. It also has incredibly slow reverse speed, which makes it very vulnerable to explosive hacks. So just all in all, guys, I'm going to give this one probably a 4 out of 10 just because you get the Panther G. Just wait for the Panther G. I know it sucks, but just grind out the Panther G. Get one of the other premium squads, for God's sake, and then grind up to the Panther G faster. That would be my recommendation instead of buying this tank. And last and probably the least here, guys, we've got the BF-109 G14. This thing sucks. It sucks. Remember, we're also counting the Air Cobra along with this, guys. And I gotta say, this plane just kind of sucks. Like, it's very maneuverable, but there's nothing special about it. I bought it because it initially was sold and said that it had armor-piercing rounds on that 30 mil cannon. And I gotta tell you guys that if you manage to kill a T-34 with this thing, then hats off to you, because I am not able to. I have no idea how you guys are able to do that. Every single shot bounces. I've hit them from the side. I've hit them from the top. Doesn't do shit. So I got no idea. In air-to-air combat, it's solid. It's definitely good. It's very maneuverable. It can probably take on any plane in the game. But it doesn't even matter, because you can just, like, nobody flies fighters in this game. And so you just get in the standard German fighter. I don't even remember what it is, but just get in the standard German fighter if you really want to do air superiority, right? Like, you don't need to spend $50 to get this squad when you can just get the normal, you know, use the normal fighter team, right? The normal fighter squad. So this squad is not good. It's not good for close air support. It's not good for air-to-air combat. I mean, it is good for air-to-air combat, but, like, just use the normal fighter. Like, so it's not really that unique. I don't care about this squad. I don't recommend this squad. I'm giving this thing a 2 out of 10. You can see here, it ripped right into the side of that T-34. It didn't do shit. If you do use this thing, I do recommend you swap your 30 mil cannons off of the standard fire, because you will just waste all of your ammo, because they come with like 35 bullets and you'll just rip through them. So yeah, this doesn't do anything. Don't buy it. It sucks. So that is it, guys. Those are all the different premium squads in the Battle of Berlin. Hopefully you guys now have a better idea about which squads you might want to pick up and which squads you should stay the hell away from, and you'll be able to make some better purchases. Now, I will say, guys, these squads are fantastic for leveling up. I got about 3 or 4 games worth of footage here that I got for this video, and I gotta tell you guys, I was getting like 50,000 XP a game with premium plus these squads, because these squads do give you double XP, which is fantastic. So if you want to get some bonus XP, I do recommend picking up one of these squads and just doing as much damage as you can with them, especially the tank squads. But all in all, guys, that is it from me. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know your guys' thoughts on these premium squads. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys think I'm off base? So on and so forth. And what's your guys' favorite premium squad in the game as of right now? Finally, guys, you can always come check me out over at twitch.tv/HeyQuadro. I am an open book. You're always free to ask me any question about the game or myself. I love to talk with you guys. I love chatting with you guys over there. And finally, you can also join our community Discord. The links for those are down in the description below, guys. And I'll see you next time. Take it easy.